Hey everybody, it's Dave here with another Waregames video for you. We have been away for some time, and for that we apologize. We have been busy and not gaming as much as we would like to. But now we are back, and we are playing Cities Skylines. I'm betting that many or some of you have tried this game already. This is the game that we've been waiting for a very long time, since SimCity stopped being SimCity and started being Online Nightmare. My personal opinion, of course. I was always a big fan of the SimCity games, and SimCity 4, I think, was probably the high watermark for that, with the rush hour stuff and that kind of thing. And then we tried the Cities XL and Cities XXL, and they kind of were okay, but they never really got the job done. But now we have Cities Skylines, and it is pretty fun, I gotta say. So the idea is very similar to something like a SimCity, where you have a city and you have to make sure it continues to run and power it and water it and feed it, I guess, in a manner of speaking. Add some roads. But what they've done right in this game that they didn't get right in the SimCity is that I don't have to be online to play it. I don't have to be multiplayer to play it. I think, and I can't speak for everyone, of course, but for me, the joy in these kind of games is taking my time and creating something that I want to create in my own good time and not having to worry about what the rest of the world is doing. So there's really no need, in my books, for anything like this to be multimedia. Or sorry, to be multiplayer. Multimedia is fine. So this is just City that I have been working on for some time. I'm just kind of showing you this as a starting place so that you can see kind of what the game is about, what it's capable of. So when we started, we were right along the side of this big highway here. You can see the highway there. And we slowly started building stuff, and then we've expanded and expanded, and eventually the game will let you take over some of the surrounding areas. You can see here, this is the last square that we just took over. Apparently you can do up to 9 squares before the game says no more, and then in fact there's a bunch of mods that are available, and one of the mods will allow you to do more than that until the point where your graphics card gives up on you. So yeah, anyways, this is my little town, my little city that has continued to grow and has all of the growth problems that cities have. So we're actually doing all right now. We've got quite a bit of money coming in. We're feeding our people and keeping them educated and fed and all that kind of stuff. As you can see, we've got some different kinds of areas. This is our industrial area. You can see the ground in the industrial area is kind of nasty and purpley, and then of course over in the areas where people live, it's a little more beautiful and pretty and that kind of thing. So there's less pollution, that sort of thing. They got this little Twitter thing at the top here that gives you notes and messages. It tells you if something's going wrong, like, hey, how come no one's picking up the dead people for the cemetery? And that might tell you that you either need some more space in your cemetery or that kind of thing. There's lots of these little icons that pop up that will tell you things that are going on. So you can click on it. You can say, oh, this building has low land value. Well, yeah, it's right on the main street. That's not that big of a surprise. Oh, something's going on here. There's a dead oh, there you go. Okay, we do have enough cemeteries. As we're just trying to catch up at the moment. So what's this one? Low land value again. This main street, nothing but trouble. And look, here's a building that's on fire. And I'm not making a very good case for my city, am I? Anyways, there's 4 fire trucks here. They're busily putting that out, so that'll be no problem in no time at all. That'll be taken care of. And then, where did we see a few more of those? Oh, over here. Okay, so there's a few abandoned buildings here. So our industry group is not doing as well. We need some more, maybe some more workers, more people to move in, that kind of thing. So it's a balancing game, and it's kind of fun. You can zoom right down, so we can follow these. Whoa, that was a terrible lane change by that bus right there. He's going to hurt somebody. Oh, look, you can click on the bus and it'll tell you there's one person on that bus. The way that guy just changed lanes, I am not surprised. So he's gone to this little hamlet community we built over here, and it looks like part of it is unpowered. So either there's a problem with the amount of power we have. Sorry, power menu. Yeah, it looks like we've got enough power, so they're probably just not getting power somehow. Not sure what the deal is there. It looks like they should have power. But maybe they're just out on the fringes too far. Anyways, we can build more. We could give them a windmill if we so desired. We could put a windmill in over here. Comes with its own problems, of course, because it creates a lot of noise. So we could create this. We could connect that to that windmill. And then theoretically these guys should have some power here. So not enough electricity. And we've added a windmill, so hopefully that will help out with that. Anyways, the idea here wasn't to get specifically into problems right now. But it was more just to sort of show you what's going on. This is our big clover leaf that leads into town and then suddenly becomes all kinds of roads. We put a little business district in here and then finally started getting to some high-rise, high-density housing. You can see over here, this is where our power plants are. We started with coal plants and we're slowly getting rid of those. We've got 2 of those. We have an incinerator to get rid of the garbage. There's 2 of the incinerators. So we have these 4 landfills, and they're getting pretty full. So 3 of the landfills are full now, and this one is 32% full. So, and then water's kind of fun in this game. You actually pull the water out of the river. And you can see here that we've got 3 of those pumps pulling water out of the river. And then we've got 3 drainage that's draining all of our nastiness back into the river. And you can see, look at this. It's going into the river. So you can see the river is getting a little polluted as it goes out. That's one of the things that I've just reached the level now where I can put in a water treatment plant. It says don't want to pump raw sewage into bodies of water. You can build a water treatment plant to reduce the environmental impact. Purifies everything. So we could put that in. And then I'm guessing maybe we get rid of a couple of these guys and make sure he's powered. He lives pretty close to the power plant, so there you go. He's all powered now. And so, yeah, these guys do 114,000. He's doing 150. So I guess we could get rid of one of these. Took me a long time to find the build menu. Or the destruction. It's just B. And then it asks you if you want to destroy something. And you say, yes, I do. Thank you very much. So you can see now our availability for the water didn't jump up, but our sewage treatment did. And then it just bounced back down because I took out the other plant there. So I guess the idea would be to put in a few more of those and to take a few more of the drains out. And we've got lots of cash, so we could probably do that. Why don't we? Anyways, my idea here was to show you a new city instead of this one that's already, you know, in the midst. I don't know if we need 3 or not. I guess we'll find out. And that guy should be powered pretty quickly, yeah. So let's see what our drainage situation is like. Oh, see, we do need a 3rd one. It's saying, dude, you need a 3rd one. And then we're going to need to connect him to the pipes. Pipes are pretty easy in this one. You can see everything just shows you where it's connected and where it's not. So this is the map of the city, and anywhere where there's no coverage, it's that white color, and anywhere there is, it's a kind of the blue color, or the light blue color. And then we'll just make sure he's powered as well. There are no roads leading to any of those, by the way. And let's see if we have solved some of it. Look at that, we did. Look at that. See that color, that darker color is over that way, but it's getting less all the time. So, and our sewage treatment is way back over capacity, so it costs a little bit of money, but we seem to be rolling in the bucks right now, so that's okay. And we've cleaned up the river. And then I actually put in a dam not long ago, this hydro dam over here. And he makes 48 megawatts. And if I was able to put one in down here, it would have been much more than that. So we may end up doing that at some point. So everything's a trade-off. Things cost more or use more power, more electricity. So you're constantly sort of dealing with stuff. And that's good. It never seems overwhelming. I think one of the early games I tried, I ran out of money in a big hurry, but that was my own foolishness. So let's see, we're only like 5 or 10 minutes in here. Why don't we do this? Why don't we start? We're going to save this guy up. And then why don't we start a new game? How do we do that? Here, let's go back to the main menu. To the main menu. And let's see here. Why don't we start a new game? And we will pick all kinds of different. See, there's a bunch of different maps. I suspect there's more maps than that to come. Oh, Lagoon Shore. That sounds like fun. Let's do that. It's only got 56% suitable building area, and you can see here it's got some natural resources and the water that's available to it. So let's do that. And it's slowly starting. It's giving us little hints as we start. You can see our town there. So when you first start, it kind of walks you through and says, here's what you need to do. And so it kind of walks you through that initial setup. So if we can see here by flipping up, that's the only part that we can build in to start. But that's okay. So you can see here, this is our clover leaf that we started with, and here's a couple roads. And everything's pretty self-explanatory, so it's going to kind of walk me through things again. So right now I can only build kind of a basic road. And this one thing that's a bit weird is you can't drag the road past the second intersection. You have to put it through that intersection and then kind of drag it out from there. And as you can see, as soon as you put a road in, you get these little grids on either side, and that's where your zoning happens. So for instance, we can put in a little bit of, there's different modes. You can either have, it's on the fill right now, or you know, the different sizes, so it'll only fill in the size of my bubble here if I want to do that, or I can do square. Anyways, for now we'll just do the marquee fill, and we'll do that on that side of the road. And I'm going to put in a few crossroads before we get too far here, because we don't want people to not have anywhere to live, and we don't want them to live right on the main street. So it's a kind of a juggling act. You can figure out how far apart the things need to be to keep things. There you go. See, now they're going to be, the houses will back right onto each other if we put houses in there. And to start with, we don't have the high density. We just have the low density, and that's okay. And that stuff comes in later as we grow. And I'm using the fill-in tool for now, just so that I can maybe keep a few of those squares for the building, the businesses. And so we can tell it, just fill that one in. And we'll put some industrial stuff maybe way over here. I don't want to get too far away from people, but we also don't want people living on top of the pollution, because nobody wants to live on top of pollution. I'm going to put a road in there, and I put a road in here, because later we're going to want to make those into bigger capacity roads. So there you go, and you can see we're still running here right now. We're at the lowest speed. I've just popped it up to the medium speed. Right now we have no power, we have no water, so we should really kind of pause and figure that out. So at the beginning, you can choose. You can have a coal plant. That's quite a bit of cash right off the hop. Or you can go wind turbines. I found that I got up to the point where I had like 2 or 3 wind turbines before I needed to move to, say, a power plant, because it was starting to get out of hand. So we can give some power there. And then the water, we're going to have to find, so the game pretty much has to give you some kind of water, because you got to deal with your water and your pumps and that kind of thing. So we saw this before. You can see that's how the water's moving there. Over here, the water's pretty still. So we could put, that would be nasty if we started putting our waste into that little pond. And the other thing that you want to remember is you want your water that you're drinking to go in. You want to go upstream of the waste. You want the waste downstream, because otherwise you're going to be pulling wastewater, and that's just nasty. So you don't want to do that. So I've connected those two, and then we can run a pipe, and then we can run a pipe. See, my angles are not good, but so we're just running more than we need right now. And then we can put in some of that. So everything that we've already built now has, in theory, water and power. Although we may have to actually power our pumps. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's run the game a bit and see. Yes, we do indeed have to power those. So, and I just showed you that a minute ago, so I don't know why I didn't know that. In the last example, the last city, we powered them. So there you go. So those are powered now. We're running fresh water. You can also put in, instead, you could also put in a water tower. which maybe we should have done that at the beginning because now we're way in debt. So let's find out if we can stay ahead of the death curve here and still have some money to show for it. So right now it's saying that mostly what we need is there's a medium demand for residential zoning. So we need more people to move in. So we're going to move that there. We're going to put that there. And then we'll continue these roads as well. So let's see if we get this right. Yeah, see, I didn't do that right because that's not connected there. So we can go back in. We can take that piece of road out very quickly. And then for some reason it wants to demolish some of those houses for us. So someone out there is smarter than me and they know how to do this right. But you know, that's how we roll, right? Live and learn, live and learn. Okay, so there's a lot of help menus. I think this is my second time through. There must be some way to disable all that. To go look, I played this before. I don't need your help. Heck with you guys. And then we could throw in a bit more business here if we wanted to. And then make sure that we're all watered. For the most part, we seem to be pretty good. We do need to put in a little bit more water. Like through there. And then these guys are going to need water here. And I'm sure as I play more, I will get better at placing that kind of stuff. A lot of pop-up menus off the hop. Maybe too many, but that's okay. If you're learning how to play, it's probably a good thing. We have less unhappy people, so there's a little meter down here that shows you how happy people are or unhappy people are. And then as you get more things, you can unlock more stuff. So like here's my budget. I've got a power and a water budget. And then I don't get to see my taxes until I have like 500 people. And there's also loans that you can take out. But again, that will happen more as our city grows and you get other kinds of buildings. Like we don't have any fire or police or anything like that. That stuff will all start opening up as more people move in. So you can see there's no demand for anything except a tiny little bit of demand. Oh, well, look at that. Maybe if we actually powered things, there would be. And that doesn't want to do that there because that's outside of the city limits. And so we're going to power that and see if that works. There you go. So now our industrial is powered. It was not before. So now maybe we'll get some more workers. And you can see they're all working away now. There's not much demand, but we're not losing a lot of money now. We're down to about 25 a month. I think that's euros. I don't know. Some kind of maybe simoleons. I don't think they would call them that, but and there's a lot of options. You can choose which side of the road the cars drive on. So you can make it a little more European, or you can make it a little more North American. Whatever pleases you, and that's up to you. Whatever pleases you. That's none of my business, man. So yeah, you can see that people are still moving in slowly. And, you know, like it's a good-looking game. You can zoom quite close in on things. A lot of stats for the individual buildings and things like that. You can zoom way out and see how things are going. Controls are very easy to use. I have no issues there. Sometimes I suck at building roads, but that's my fault. Not the game's, I don't think. And tons of people have created mods or added items and roads and clover leaves and things like that, which I think is fantastic. That's such a good sign that people are digging this game, is that they're taking time to build things for it. So gotta love that. Look at that. We've got a bit of demand now for some industry. People want the industry. I'm not a big fan of zoning industry because it just pollutes everything down the road. But it's got to be done. So it's telling me I can build elevated roads by pushing the page up key to raise the road level. Well, that's kind of fun. Not going to do it, but sounds like fun. And then slowly it will allow us to say now we can do a medium road, which gives us bigger 4-lane roads. And then there's 6-lane roads, and then there's 8-lane roads. We don't have enough population for one of those yet, so. And that's a little tweet that just told me that somebody doesn't have water pipes. So we can check and see what's going on there. And usually it'll show you who doesn't. Oh, it says there's like one property over here that is missing their water. And there, that's taken care of. And so we can then check our power, and you can see that we actually do not have enough power. So we need a second windmill now. And really, you could check too. There's different amounts of megawatts depending on where it's located, that kind of thing. I bet you if it was higher up or something, it would create more. These ones are not super powerful because we're on a big flat land, but that's okay. So now we have enough power, and there's more factories and stuff going in. So we could put in another road back here. Now I haven't played all the way through to, you know, like Mega City, that kind of thing, so I'm sure that some of the stuff I'm doing here might cause some traffic issues when things get bigger, but there you go. Congratulations. So we've reached the first sort of stage that we're called a little hamlet. So we've reached 460 people, and that unlocks things like garbage, healthcare, and education, and some buildings along with that. And then as we go, we'll continue to grow, and we will gain more facilities and things like that as we go. So I'm just going to stretch this road out here, and we're going to put in, and they gave us a bunch of cash too for doing that. Congratulations. We're going to put in a landfill, and we're going to add some healthcare. People seem to like that. They seem to enjoy not being sick all the time for some reason. And we'll throw in a little bit of more business, though we don't have a demand for it right now. It's mostly more residential that people would like to get. So just going to stretch these roads out a bit, and then put a road between them, and then another road there. Should really be wider out when I do this so that I can line things up. And of course, every time you add new stuff, you got to remember to go in and add more water and more electricity. And of course, as those things get used, then you're going to need more. So it's a growth thing, right? So we've added more housing in. That's kind of fun. There's a little house going in, so you can watch. We can watch a couple of them being built here. Nice and slow. There's some people riding. There's a dog with the family. These guys already have their lawn chairs in the back. So it looks like a little kind of low rent house over there. And you know, these guys got a nice hedge already going here. Little Brady Bunch kind of thing. But yeah, so you can see we've got, see, that's kind of a fun house. Lots of different models, and I haven't added very much in the way of mods. Actually, nothing in the way of mods yet. Quite a few models the same here, but there's a decent amount of things, which is kind of fun. There's another business going in there. See, now we have no industrial need. We've met that. We've put in enough industrial to meet that need. We could still use a little bit more residential, and we could use a little bit more commercial. But so far, our little town seems to be growing quite nicely. Westfield is what it's called. That may just be a default. I certainly didn't choose that name, so I wonder if it would let us change it if we wanted to. City information. There you go. We can change it. Let's call this Sunny Lake Shores. Oh, Sunny Lake Shorts. All right, Sunny Lake Shores. There you go. I like that it let us change it. That's fun. Aha, this guy has what? A garbage. Garbage is piling up. So we did add a landfill. Oh, it's not watered. Game's good at telling you what you're not doing right. But you do have to pay a bit of attention. Oh, that's because we added the medical clinic over there. Did we add the garbage over there? Are we that terrible at this? No. Okay, so our healthcare. Oh, we added 2. Dummy. Okay, that was my fault. Of course, it wasn't your fault. You know that. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're actually going to put in what we meant to do, which was put in a landfill. And then we're going to have to reconnect all of our little towers there. So now we have garbage. Hooray. Look at that beautiful landfill. So it's saying that it's 0% full, and there's 15 trucks total. 4 of them are currently in use, and they're going to go start getting the garbage. that's been piling up in town because we accidentally put in 2 healthcare centers and wasted a lot of the taxpayer dollars. You can see here that there's nobody that's sick. We've got a lot of capacity, and everyone's pretty healthy for the most part, which is good. We like that. We can now put in a school as well. We actually have enough money left. Congratulations to us. And so we'll do that. And everybody's very happy about the school. So it can hold 300 students. We have 186 right now. And there we go. 26 students. And they've all got their little sounds and such. And as the city grows, we'll add buses and things like that too. So, you know, just really good, well done, fun, put together game. It might be a little dull for some of you if you're more into shooting and killing and hacking and slashing things. You might get a little bored, but I like it. It's a nice, slow-paced kind of dealy. So now my problem, of course, is I need more power. And until I get up to 6,000 money buck dollar things, I can't do that. So hopefully everyone won't leave before. That can be a problem if you're desperately in need of something and people are like, meh, we need things. So these people are kind of in danger of moving out. We could theoretically go and see about taking a loan out. See, you can take a loan out for 20,000, and it's 400 a week that you have to pay back. So let's do it. Super low rate, and we can actually put in a power plant. So we're going to put in a power plant, and then I'm actually going to take. Let's double check and see what this does. This outputs 40. So I'm actually going to save some cash in the meantime, I'm going to take these 2 down. And I know we're not being as environmental as we should be, but we do have enough electricity now, and everyone has plenty. So what's going on over here? Something happened in a hurry and then stopped. Okay, that was too fast for me. I didn't see what the problem was. Maybe a shortage very quickly between, the water. Because we took all those out, so maybe we got to make sure that these are hooked up. Yay! They weren't getting their water, clean water. And now they are. So we can see here, so I didn't zone this part yet. I could do that. Looks like we're ready for a little more business, so we could zone that for business. Zone that for business. And there's even a little area left there, so we could easily do that and then put in some more housing. Look at the housing demand now. It's just skyrocketing. So people want to live here now. So as soon as I add these, they're going to start filling up. We're at 779 people, and that's going to keep increasing. We've just added a bunch more housing there. To the middle of town, as it were. At some point, we're going to start getting closer to the edges, but well before we do that, they'll offer us a chance to buy another adjoining parcel. So this map is pretty small, actually, compared to the last one I was on. So we might have trouble deciding which one we actually do want to buy. And, of course, we need to add some more pipes. So there's like 2 houses that don't have pipes now. I'm just going to add in a bit here because we're going to be building into this area pretty quick, I'm sure. So, yeah, let's see if we can get to 1,000 people. And then there's different kinds of roads that you can start getting. You can get fancier roads when you have more people and when you've added more things and stuff. You know, things, stuff. So let's add in a bit more housing. And there's some more housing going in there. This can all be housing. Try to keep a little bit of business zonage along the edge. There you go. We've reached Worthy Village. So now we can have fire, police, and some other unique buildings. And then they have these things called specializations where you can choose an area and you can say this area has forestry stuff. So all the buildings that go in there become forestry type buildings. So we're going to put in, now this is the fire station. Going to add one of those, and we're going to add a police station. And this is nice because they're both kind of right in the dead center of town, or able to get to everything in a hurry. So there's our firehouse. And then when you click on the fire, it'll show you now. It's a little bit confusing because the fireman's efficiency is the green on the road, so they can get to anything in a hurry. And then the building hazards, so you can see the residential is less hazardous, and then over here much more hazardous. Now the fire station's right there, but they're still a hazard because they are industrial buildings. And the police stations, we have a 2% crime rate. There's virtually no crime here, and the crime rate is low everywhere because we're all within range of that thing. And the efficiency of the police, they can get stuff in a hurry. They can even get down that highway if they need to. Write some tickets, put in some traffic cams. So yeah, for me, this is a great game. I think this is what we've been waiting for since SimCity 4 and haven't had. I haven't, like I said, fully explored everything in gigantic cities and what happens when we get up into the big numbers and that. And like most SimCity type games, you're kind of creating your own narrative, so you're deciding what happens to the people. There's not a lot of scenario stuff so far. There may, I shouldn't say that. There's probably scenarios out there online that people are creating and that kind of thing, but the base game doesn't seem to have a lot in that regard. So it's kind of on you to create your own stories, and that's kind of fun too, I think. So yeah. And so our little town will keep growing, and we'll have growing pains. Right now we have way more water and sewage than we need, but eventually we'll have to add that. Our electricity is good because we just added in that new factory, or the new, plant. And then now we're allowed to do policies, so we can add things like power usage. So you can pay a little bit more per building and it will use less energy. So it's like you're telling people they have to, like, setting new policies for the whole city. Water usage. These things I found add up very fast. You have to be very quick. Or you have to, hit one and give it a few ticks to catch up. Because sometimes if you add them all at once, then you'll find your budget's in a mess in a hurry. So for instance, 5 cents per building for a significantly reduced risk of fire. So if we had our, as you can see right now, we have a 33% hazard. So let's hit that, and we were at 1135 when we added that. You can see it's dropping right now as it ticks on those buildings. And it doesn't do it all at once for some reason. It just suddenly takes its time. So you can see now we're down a fair amount. And our fire hazard doesn't look like it's changed a ton here. But see, now we're down to 702, 647. So I found you have to be very careful with these, that you don't put too many in at once and then go broke and have to start repealing everything at once. So we need a bit more water over here for these guys, and we'll do that. We're still in the green, as it were, so it's just a matter of adding more housing if we want to increase our tax load. So you can see those people are unhappy because I made them destroy their houses to put in more housing. Because I forgot to add a little connector road there. Oh, and we were running out of money, so we better start zoning. And of course we have a loan out right now, as we know. But now we've just added a bunch more houses, and do they have water? Most of them have water. So yeah, they'll start building in, and I like how they sort of add the leveling in as they go, right? They'll put not a retaining wall, but a berm. I guess it's a berm, technically. So those guys are going to start moving in. We're back up to 720 in our budget surplus. So yeah, kind of fun, hey? Well, I think maybe we will call it for today, and maybe we'll come back to Sunny Lake Shores in a future video. Again, I apologize. It's been quite a long time since I did a video last, but I've been busy. I've been doing stuff, and I missed it. So I will try to do more in the immediate future. So once again, thank you for watching. We do really appreciate any kind of feedback. I say this all the time, but it's really true. We love feedback. Love to hear it. Like you liked it, didn't like it, do this, more of that. Why can't you be more like your brother? You know, whatever it is, that's fine. You can share that with us. We don't mind. So thank you very much for joining us. And once again, and have yourself a pleasant day. And we'll see you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.